everyone. Welcome to another interesting and inspiring episode of Love and Marriage with Seyi, where we celebrate thriving marriages and sow success seeds and wisdom nuggets for growth. Thank you for being here with us today. The issue of love and marriage would always remain a mystery. For some people, love is instant. You see the person and you fall in love immediately. And for some people, love grows. I wonder how it happened for you. Was it instant or did it grow? Our couple today fall on both sides of the coin. For one, it was instant. For the other, it grows. And so we'll have a great conversation today about how to bring the uninterested party on board, keep them on board to the point where both are joyfully sailing down the lane of a happy married life. My love and marriage hopefuls, you don't want to miss this. And for those already in relationships, there are wonderful nuggets and seeds to pick up from today's episode. You don't want to miss a minute of it, and it gives me great pleasure today to introduce to us Mr. and Mrs. Yemi Shamo. The finance mogul and serial entrepreneur have teamed up on very many business ventures and continue to do so. Nowadays, with the advent of empty nesting, they find the most pleasure just staying home, watching movies, enjoying each other, and cooking together. They are blessed with 5 children and 2 grandchildren. Join me as I welcome Mr. and Mrs. Yemi Shamo. Mr. and Mrs. Shamo, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you today. So how did you guys meet?
Actually, we met by divine connection somehow, because there's a place that I go with my friends after work, especially on Fridays. So I was there, and one of my friends happened to be her cousin, and she came to see her cousin. So that was how we met.
You just saw her and liked her immediately?
Actually, what really got me was the way she smiles. Because you can read people from the way they smile. You can see the genuineness of the heart. You can see so many things.
Wow.
And that was what I saw that night. Her smile.
Her smile stood out to you?
I'm telling you.
And she's still smiling?
She's still smiling. The same smile.
Maybe you want to show us that smile.
Okay, so that fateful day, I actually went to see my cousin, and I was talking with my cousin, and this rude guy came in and just chipped in. Like, I've never met him before. And he came, he was like, I'm actually looking for somebody to share an apartment with. And I'm like, who is this one? I was so upset, so I dragged my cousin away from where he was, and we went to another side. I kept on talking with my cousin. Here he comes again. And he was like, seriously, I'm looking for somebody to share an apartment. I just ignored him, and I went on with my cousin. So I finished talking with my cousin, and I was ready to go home. But my cousin was not ready to drop me off, because that day, it was very late at night. And I didn't go with my car, and I was ready to go. So he offered to drop me home. And I'm like, no. So he said, okay. So I went outside looking for taxi. I couldn't get any taxi. So I came back inside and said, I need a ride. So he took me home, got me home, got out of the car, he gave me his card. I just took the card, shoved it in my bag, and that was it for me.
You fell in love with her smile and went on to tell her you need a roommate?
Actually, I wasn't looking for an apartment.
He was joking.
I was just joking. I was just trying to get to know her, talk to her, you know. So I wasn't looking for an apartment. I just brought her up to get in conversation with her and all those things. That was it.
So you were not interested?
No, actually, at that point, I wasn't looking for a relationship.
So how did the relationship evolve?
You wanna go?
I was persistent. Because something told me, I believe it's the Spirit of God, that she's the one. So I had to keep on going. You know, I was able to
track me down.
Track her down to a place of work.
To my office.
Because I was a friend to her cousin. So I could easily get information that I want. And the cousin knows me very well that I'm responsible. I'm the kind of person that I wasn't playing around or something like that, you know. So he encouraged me to. And I was able to track her down and kept on going, pestering her.
How and when did you become interested in him?
I think after 3 months. After 3 months after I met him. So he started coming around. He would just show up in my office without even informing me. And I think after a while, I said, okay, let me give this guy, a chance. So, but then I think about 2-3 weeks into the dating, whatever you call it, I told him that I needed to take some time off to hear from God. So I think for 3 months I cut him off. I wasn't communicating, I wasn't nothing. He would call my office, they'll tell him that I was on vacation for like 3 months. Then the last call he made, he used my cousin's name, not his name. So he used my cousin's name. So the secretary called me and said, there's an Akin for you on the phone. And I said, oh, Uncle Akin. Oh, he was like, oh, I thought you were on vacation. Why are you on the phone? So I'm like, who is this? He said, Jamie. I'm like, oh, okay, he got me.
And so, sir, what would you say to a young man out there who is truly interested in a young lady who is not responding favorably to him?
Well, I think you need to know yourself. Am I something or someone that a lady would be interested in? And that encompasses a lot of things. You must be working. If you are really into God, it should be all over you, so that the lady can see that it's all over you too, and then you keep on. Before you know it, she's going to see all that you are, and she'll be able to make up her mind whether you are the one or not.
But how do you keep on chasing a lady for 3 months?
Because I was really convinced that she's the one. I was really convinced. I really had to put in effort. I wasn't going to just let go like that anyway.
Besides her smile, what else convinced you that she was the one?
After we started going out, before she cut me off, I saw some qualities in her. Very respectful. She was well brought up. I mean, you can tell that. You can see that. So, and she made it easy for me to really love someone like her. When you see all those things, I mean, you can't but fall in love with such a person.
Tell me one way she made it easy for you to keep falling in love with her.
She's caring.
How did she show you care?
All right. You realize she's not a woman that is after material things and all those things. And if she's coming to visit, she will always come with stuff to cook. at home without asking for anything. So that one, I mean, you can't miss that.
They do say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, right?
Not really because of the food, but from the heart where the food is coming from.
That's right. I like that.
It's not because what she's bringing I can afford, but for her to bring them, cook them, I mean, it's not as if she's asking for the money or I'm giving her money, please, when you come in, buy food or something like that. No. So that is very important.
Ma'am, how does a lady keep a man chasing her for 3 months until she decides if she wants him or not?
I think what kept him was the fact that I was chasing after God. That was what really, I believe that was what kept him put. So what really kept him was for the fact that this one is grounded in God. And he followed me to church. He was a Deeper Life church member. But when he met me and he saw that, okay, if I really want to get this person, I will have to join her faith. So he followed me to church.
To Christ Chapel.
To Christ Chapel. That was what I believe kept him for the fact that he saw that this person is rooted in God. Probably that's what he loved. That was what kept him put.
I believe the Bible says a woman who fears the Lord, she is to be praised. So you saw that in her from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning.
For folks out there looking for love and marriage relationships, what would you say they should be looking for in the opposite sex?
I believe one thing is you can't give what you don't have. And the same thing, you can't expect to get what you can give. So when you're looking for a woman, you need to assess yourself. And then you need to align it with what you want. Okay, I want a good woman. Are you a good man? So that is very important. Am I someone that a woman will be happy with, or a woman will just manage, So if you're looking for a Christian woman, you have to be a Christian yourself. I mean, it doesn't work because the Bible even says, don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So if you're looking for a good woman, you have to be a good man. If you're looking for a Christian woman, you have to be a Christian. If you're looking for a respectful woman, you must be able to respect the woman that you're looking for. So that is very, very important. Very, very important.
What is love?
Love, like the Bible will say, love is patient, love is kind. So if you love your husband, you want to be kind towards your husband. If you love your husband, you want to be patient with your husband. If you love your husband, you don't hold on to a mistake of your husband. If you love your husband, you want to give all yourself to your husband. If you love somebody, you won't be selfish. That's love.
So what makes a good man?
One, like she mentioned, you have to be a patient man. You have to be God-loving, because
you're the reflection of God anyway.
Oh yeah, because you are the reflection of God in your family. As the head of the family, you are the reflection of God. You must be. You must care for your family. Before the children comes, you must care for your wife. You must respect your wife. Then,
after the children comes,
you must take care of everybody. You have to look after everybody. That's what makes a good woman. You have to put them first. That makes a good man. Put your family first. After God anyway. Then your family is the next thing. So that makes a good man. I believe.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, sir. Have you ever had an incident in your marriage that you had to walk through that could have threatened your union?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I've been through a lot in my adult life. You know, faced a lot, especially in my work area, and each time, I'm always confident that I have a woman that understands, that knows what's going on, and that is ready to stand by you, even when everybody, including the people that you expect to be strong and be there for you and support you, when they leave you, she's there. I mean, she's not that kind of a woman. That's a woman that will stay with you through thick and thin. So, for that, I'm always grateful to God. Always grateful to God, and I always thank God for her.
So what does submission look like in your relationship?
I believe submission is a two-way thing. Because, I mean, you have to value each other's opinion. You have to value each other's contribution, you know. And if we're talking or considering something and she comes up with a better argument, I have to submit to that argument. Because if I see that she has a better argument than I do, I mean, I'll be stupid. Because if it turns belly up and I insisted on doing it my way, then I have to take all the blame, you know. But to me, in a marriage, submission should be a two-way thing, you know. I mean, love one another is another form of saying submit to one another. I believe so.
What does submission look like to you? Can you give us an example of you submitting?
I submit every day. You know, submission doesn't mean you're a fool. Doesn't mean you don't know your right from your wrong. Just because you want to submit doesn't mean you follow everything the man says you should do. You should be able to differentiate between submission and stupidity. If you just follow yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, even though you know that some of what he's asking you to do is not right, then you're just stupid. I mean, so submission to me is, I believe, like he said, is two ways. You weigh whatever it is that you are being asked to submit to. Will it favor the man? Will it favor you as well? Because it has to balance. If you are asking me to submit, okay, say now, for example, what example can I use? He wants to go somewhere and I don't want to go, and I give him a reason why I don't want to go, and he insists that I go, and at the end of it, I go reluctantly, but I'm not happy being there. It's going to affect us both, because I'm not happy, and if I'm not happy, how is it going to be happy anyway? So happy wife, they say happy home. So I mean, we both have to weigh what we're asking each other to submit to. Will it favor each person?
Sir, what does love your wife mean to you?
Everything. It means everything. I mean, if loving your wife, in other words, is loving yourself. If you love yourself, you just have to love your wife, you know, because loving your wife even makes life easier for you, you know. And when the woman knows you really love her, it makes your life easier. The home is at peace, and the children see what's going on, they like it, you know, and that's another way of impacting your children. I think I read somewhere that the best thing you can do for your children is to love their mother. You know, so I mean, that weighs a lot. That's deep. So that is what loving my wife means to me.
I appreciate your response. Now, Sarah, what would you say to a man who has a quarrelsome wife? How would you tell him to keep loving her?
I mean, it's all about where you're starting from. You want to tell me that you dated for a year and you can't even figure out that this woman is trouble, I mean, I'm not perfect, but I believe that you should be able to see it. But in any case, if you don't see it, I believe the situation is beyond our control when it gets to that. So you take it to the person that has control over all the situation, and that person is God. Prayer answers a lot of things. So you need to pray about it. You need to, and then, like I said earlier, you can't give what you don't have, and you can't get what you can't give. So you may be looking at the woman as being quarrelsome, but what about the man?
What is it dishing out?
What is it dishing out?
Before she got to that point of being quarrelsome. Something must
have happened in between. So the man needs to look at himself and deal with himself first, then take it to God and lay it before God.
Now, ma'am, what would you say to a lady who is not feeling loved or appreciated by her husband?
Okay, so we're saying he doesn't show her love. He's not abusing her in any way, is he? Just take it that way. He's not abusing her. It's just that he doesn't know how to express his love to her.
Oh, sorry. She doesn't know that the husband loves her.
Loves her.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so...
But the husband loves her.
But the man loves her. He just doesn't show it. He doesn't... And, sorry, I'm going to use our African men. They're not... Our African men don't... Well, maybe this generation is different. But our own generation... Most of them don't know how to express love the way the Western people express love. Our African men are different. It takes an African man that travels out of Africa that have seen how love is being shown to the wife before he can come back home and show the same thing to his wife. So if a woman does not feel loved by the husband, it's not that he doesn't love her, or maybe he doesn't know how to show it. Like, he doesn't know how to come home with roses or buy chocolate and all that. Maybe that's what most women expect from their husband. That's what most of them think is love. That's not really love. Okay? The man really loves you. It's just he doesn't show it. So you cannot say because he doesn't show you love that he doesn't love you. Okay? And that is not enough for you to... how do I say it? Get quarrelsome or just angry that he doesn't love you. He loves you, he just doesn't know how to show it. But you can go a step further to show him how to show love. You demonstrating it. Not just giving up. You continue to show love. Demonstrate to him how to love. Before you know it, you change. Like when we were home, my husband isn't into too much cooking, though he cooks. He loves to cook. But when we got here, you will find my husband in the kitchen like almost every day, cooking one thing or the other. And it's not because I ask him to. If I'm at work, my husband will bring me food at work, even when I don't ask him. That is love. He will go buy stuff and cook without me saying a word. So there are different ways that men show love. It's just everybody has different ways of showing it. So I don't think that a man will just marry a woman without love. The love might not be there immediately, but over the years, I'm sure the love will show up.
Now, what would you say to my young love and marriage hopefuls out there regarding love and finding the right partner?
Before I met my husband, he used to tell me, well, that was after we got married. He told me that he used to tell God what he wants in a woman. He said he used to tell God that he wants a wife that he will be at work and she will call him and say, what would you want me to prepare for you when you get home? And he got that. So he got everything he asked for. He got it. But as young men and young women, you have to ask yourself, what do I really want in a marriage? What do I really want? Do I just want to have a woman and have children just to fulfill what the society expects of me? Or do I want to marry somebody that I will love, that I will cherish, that will be there for me and I'll be there for that person, that will make me happy? Because the truth is, your happiness depends on, on that. If you marry your friend, you're happy, okay? So for young couples out there, or young guys and ladies out there looking for love, you have to talk to yourself. What do I really want? Do I really want to be in a marriage? Can I stay in a marriage forever? Because that's what we are experiencing right now. People cannot imagine them living with one person for the rest of their lives. So you have to ask yourself, what do I want? So if you cannot tell yourself what you want and you don't know what you want, then you're going to be jumping in and jumping out of a marriage. So before you go into a marriage, you have to work on yourself. What do I want? If I marry this guy, will I be happy? Can I stay with this guy forever, for the rest of my life? Because if you don't settle that in your mind, there's going to be an issue.
What should a young man be looking for?
Work on himself first. Know who you are. Then know what you want. Put it before God, and then let God lead you. That's the most important thing. Let God lead you to the right person. Because I believe God led me to her. We didn't meet by chance. Nothing happens to a Christian by accident. I believe that my feet were ordered. I mean, that's not the first time I go to this place with my friends just to unwind after a tedious week, That's not the first time. But that day was different, So I believe that God ordered my footsteps to that spot. And that was how we met.
That day was your meeting with destiny, huh?
I'm telling you. So you have to really pray that God will lead you to the right person. Like she said, I had my, my checklist. My checklist that I placed before God. And she met all those ones.
Tell us one strategy that has helped your marriage succeed.
We don't hide anything from each other. We tell it as it is. We're honest with each other.
Openness.
And we do communicate. Because that's one thing that can kill a marriage, when you don't communicate with each other. That is one thing.
And humor.
Oh yeah, we laugh. We mock each other.
We laugh a lot.
We laugh a lot.
That is very important.
They say laughter is the best medicine, right?
Yeah. Now that doesn't mean that we don't have our time of argument and all that, but it's very slim.
How do you walk out of an argument without it tearing you apart?
My husband is very quick to apologize even when he's not wrong. When he knows that I'm the one that's wrong, but he will come and say, I'm sorry that I took it this way. That's one thing. He doesn't let anything linger. He addresses it quick. He comes back and says, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to sound this way or to look this way. And that's how we move on.
Do you appreciate that?
I do.
How do you keep your marriage alive?
We have time for each other. That's very important. I mean, we create time for each other not necessarily going out, just being at
Just
home.
being in the company of each other.
She's at work, and make sure that I speak to
Calls
her
me.
at least twice during her work hours. You know, she won't be able to call me because I work late, you know, so.
Yeah.
But I always make sure that while she's at work, I get in touch.
He's getting off work, he's calling me.
When I'm getting off work,
Let me
I'm
know
calling.
he's on his way home.
You know, so that is how I believe you can spice up your marriage. Just know that somebody cares about you, somebody is thinking about you all the time. You know, you don't need to go out to do that. You can do that even by not going out.
I mean, there's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We do go out once in a while.
We do go out once in a while.
But we kind of find comforts in our home.
Just
We
sitting
find
down
peace in
together,
our home.
just talking. And
We can watch movies together.
I've been subjected to a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm subjected to a lot of series,
I mean,
episodes of
if
soap operas.
If your home is peaceful,
Yeah,
nothing will drive you out there.
yeah.
Sounds like it's a work that both of you have to do to make the home
To make the
peaceful
home
and
peaceful.
loving
You have
and
to make it
make it a home indeed.
Yeah.
Sir, addressing a woman, how does a woman create a home that is so peaceful, so loving, that a husband keeps running back to it?
A lot of speakers have said it, that one thing that a man needs, the greatest need of any man is respect.
Respect.
You know, so that's very important. I mean, even if you marry your age mate, the Bible already placed the man above you as the head of the family. So that respect should be there. You know, where I come from, when you see a woman greeting her husband with different appellations and all those things, that's how I was brought up. You know, you greet your husband. I don't know, in my culture, they call it oriki or something like that. Women, they do that for their husbands, you know. That's sign of showing respect and honoring the man that God has placed above you as head of that union. So I believe that women should respect their husband and honor their husbands, you know. Give him peace. I mean, how do you give him peace? You don't nag him. Every man wants to provide for their family. If for one reason or the other he cannot do that, it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to do it. So even when you earn more than your husband, he's still the head of the family. You got to show him that respect. You need to honor him, like the Bible even tell us to do. So I'm going to advise women, honor and respect your husbands. So that one is the main key.
And you, ma'am, speaking to a man out there, how can a man help his wife feel so loved and so appreciated that she creates a beautiful and loving home for him?
So the Bible says the man should love his wife, right? And she should honor him. He has to show her love first. Because if you want to get something, you have to give something. If God says love your wife like you love yourself, and she is to honor you, so you will have to give before she can give. The Bible said that to the man first. Love your wife. And then she honor him. So give and take. You love me, I honor you. Because if you don't love somebody, but you want the person to be respecting you or to honor you, if you keep putting the person down, or you don't show that person love, and you want the person to honor you, it's not going to work out. So you have to give, then you can receive. So you show love, you receive honor.
Ma'am, what do you love about your husband?
My husband is homely. He's a very homely man. He loves his family. Will do anything for his family. He's selfless when it comes to his family. That's one thing about him. And he's patient. Very patient. That's one thing that I held on to about him from the moment we started dating. Even when I decided to cut him off, he was just patient. So that's one of it. Well, my husband completes me. Even when I don't measure up, he completes me.
And you, sir, what do you love about your wife?
Everything. She's everything rolled into one. She's a good friend. She's a good confidant. She's a praying woman. She's a very good cook. And she loves the children. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm praying for. And I got all. She's the only person that I can confide in. I'm not afraid to be naked, not literally, but be naked about what I'm going through. She's the best thing that has happened to me. Wow. She is.
We are the best things that have happened to each other.
So she's everything that I wanted in a woman. And then every day I thank God for her.
Well, that was a beautiful interview. Thank you so much again for being with us, Mr. and Mrs. Shamo. Wasn't that a beautiful session? You know, that is the mystery and the beauty of love and marriage. You start out as strangers to each other. She wasn't even interested in him. And decades later, they're best friends, walking together hand in hand, and can't imagine life without the other. For my love and marriage hopefuls out there, be encouraged. Cupid's arrow is flying around, and it's going to get you at the least expected time. Go on ahead living your life, being happy where you are, being a blessing where you are, and just doing your best where you are. That arrow is coming for you. And for those in love and marriage relationships already, let's do all we can to keep walking hand in hand, strengthening our union, and just having fun in the union. For the men, go on ahead persisting in wooing your wife, persisting in making your wife know that you love her, persisting in making her comfortable enough to create a beautiful home environment for you. And for women out there, let us do what we know how to do best, nurturing our husbands. Let us do all we can to create a warm, peaceful, loving environment in our homes so that our husbands keep running back to us. And above all, let's just keep walking in love, growing in love, and enjoying God's love that binds us together. Love is a beautiful thing. Strengthen your relationships and keep growing in love. Now, friends, we all know that for great inspirational moments on love and marriage, you want to subscribe to our channel. So go on ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that. And please do your part. Share the link to your friends and to your community. We want to do all we can to spread the beautiful seeds that inspire healthy relationships. It's always a wonderful time spent with you. And we look forward to seeing you again live on Tuesday, May the 23rd, right at 8 o'clock. Until then and beyond, the good Lord bless and keep us all.